I didn't go down the same path as the rest of the family members.
Took them a little longer to catch up.
I went a different route. I think I fell out of the tree on my head, and I think I suffered a concussion for a while. But anyhow, at about 15 years old, a little bit before 15 years old, I just started running with the wrong crowd, doing a lot of things, hurt my parents a little bit, my family, and actually got in a little trouble. I was on probation for a little while, so I knew a little bit about the judicial system, and that's where I tell everybody, actually, that's where my law enforcement career started.
Well, you stole one of my questions, because I was going to ask, what inspired you to go into law enforcement? But you talk about how I think that's the rite of passage for many, many teenagers.
Yeah.
Just they want to go out and get messy and make their own decisions, and then you come back and you're like, man, mom and dad were right.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you look back on it, sometimes you always want to blame somebody for something, but most of the time it comes right back to you. And the mistakes we make in our life are normally self-inflicted, and mine was, and I did that. So you want to know how I transferred from that to being in law enforcement. So I can tell you how that happened. At 19 years old, I joined the Army because I didn't think things were going so well, and it just seemed like I wasn't heading in quite the right direction. So the recruiter was flipping through the pages, and I remember sitting down with the recruiter, and he says, well, what is it you think you know or your experiences would be? And I said, well, I come from a farm. I can shoot pretty good. So if you need an infantryman, I could qualify there. If you need a mechanic, I could turn wrenches, know how to do stuff like that. And he said, well, let me see what openings I got. And I'll never forget. He's flipping through the book. And he says, we got some openings in this. We got some openings in that. He said, we got some openings in military police. I said, hey, wait a minute. I know a little bit about that, from the other side. And I said, if you did anything when you was a kid, when you're a young man, does it make any difference? He said, we don't care what you did. We don't give a dang what you did when you was a kid. We're going to make a man out of you. I said, just sign me up for that one. I kind of know that. So I always say that's why I always thought my law enforcement career, I understood about a lot of people more than most could because I'd made the same mistakes and done some things wrong. Didn't do everything, but I always thought that was one of the advantages I had.